Hi, everyone. I'm Very Paranormal's Michael Lamport, and welcome to Very Paranormal's very first live streaming ghost hunt. Now, it is live, so you must bear in mind that live means technology. I personally am a Luddite, and I hate technology. So if we go down, please hang in with us, and we'll be back as soon as we can, because you never know what technology is going to do to you. So I know you all know that are watching that this could be a problem, but the ghost hunt isn't a problem. This building behind me is the Bowmanville Museum in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. It was built in 1847, and then in 1861, and about 10 years later, they added two big portions to it, so it was no longer this Regency cottage that it was originally. It became a beautiful home for a very wealthy family to live in, and in 1965, they donated it to the township on the condition that this house become a museum, and that's exactly what it is. Now, this house has been around for a long time, so it's got a spirit of its own, and it's probably got some spirits inside it too. Another thing it has inside it are the guys from the paranormal investigation team Proof. They're doing an investigation of the house while we are going to go in and take a look, and that's exciting. But the most exciting thing is one of the people that we have with us, we're lucky enough, is the fantastic psychic medium, Sandy Duncan. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Now, when we came down here together, you had a few premonitions about this place.
I did, and I made some notes on the way before we got together today.
Okay, well now because we're in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, and right now it's absolutely frigging freezing, we'll go inside and let's think about your premonitions.
Good stuff.
So, come follow us into the Bowmanville Museum and see what spirits are here.
Thank you.
We can just talk about premonitions here.
Great.
So here we are inside, and what's happening is Sandy is going to give us an idea of some of the premonitions she had before she even came here.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, as soon as we walked in, what I couldn't help notice was this dress straight away. Michael, there's my drawing of the collar. It was a woman's dress. It was light in color. And then it gives a description of the woman who would have worn that dress.
There's the description of the collar and what the collar looks like, and right behind me here is the dress, and you can see that it's very, very similar to what Sandy has drawn.
Yeah, I gave a big gasp as soon as we walked in. The ruffles, the lace detail. I do have a little bit about the lady who wore the dress, but I find it fascinating that that was the first thing that I saw when we came in the door. So I'm grateful for that spirit showing me the way.
They are indeed, yeah. What other ones did you have?
I have one that I think I spied down the hall. Whichever way we want to go down the hall. I guess this way.
Okay.
And it's a gentleman who has a prominent beard, although he doesn't have much hair on the top of his head. And that is this man. That is who I could picture this afternoon. So he was on a flyer here. He does seem to have run some of the programs in dealing with resting on Sunday. That seems to be his theme. So no doubt he was used to being called sir, and that is certainly someone who is presenting themselves while we're here tonight.
People back in that time, to me, they always looked so damn serious. Like they never smiled for the camera, did they?
No, and I think that was probably encouraged so that they would have an air of authority. It's not like a selfie now. Now everyone's goofy, right, and smiling. But yeah, back in the day, they just didn't do it. So yeah, that's the second one.
Well, except that now, back in this day, as everybody knows, when you get your passport photo taken, you have to look just like him. No smiley for the passport, please. What about another one?
Back in the living room, excuse me,
Come on.
back to near where the dress is. As we talked about sort of again when we first came in, this was the first room that we came in. There's a gentleman sitting right here on the sofa. As I explained to Michael earlier, he's wearing a teal suit. He's facing us. I did find a painting or a picture on the wall that does look like him, handlebar mustache, dark hair. Not terribly impressed with me anyway. He keeps giving me the up and down sort of a thing, like, well, what are you doing here, my dear? Legs crossed, very, very proper. Shirt and collar up to here, tie done, sort of like a King George kind of a look from back in the day. But he's occupying this part of the sofa, and he thinks this is hilarious, that we find him interesting, because he's always here and he finds nothing abnormal about being here. So he's getting a bit of a chuckle that we find this interesting.
Well, maybe we can ask him out for a glass of wine afterwards.
That's a great idea. That would be wonderful. But I could also point out the picture if you want to see what he looks like.
Well, maybe could we do that as we go around the house?
Absolutely, for
So
sure.
where would you like to start? Would you like to sort of start in the other room as you go through?
I would. Actually, if we could start across the hall, that would be awesome.
Okay, we're going across the hall now to what is the dining room at the Bowmanville Museum, and we'll see what Sandy can pick up there.
Okay. First of all, there are a lot of people in this room, and the energy sort of feels thick around my legs when I come in. So that's always my symbol for there's a crowd. As I was having a chat with one of the other gentlemen a little bit earlier, there is a lady in this room who's very prominent. Now, I mean, you can see the mannequin over there, and that's kind of what she looks like. That's sort of how she's dressed, except you can see I'm in purple, she's in purple, and her skirt is much more pronounced. It goes out like that, and then it goes straight down. She has the matching jacket. She has her hair up in a bun. She is very used to getting her way. I feel like I should stand taller and be very proper when I talk to her. She's on a whispering campaign. There's a lot of whispering going on in here. There are secrets. This is where they're held, in this room, about the comings and goings, about what has gone on the upper floors, and the general workings, the politics of the people who live here. That's the discussion that's going on in this table, around this table. I think a little bit more importantly than that is the young fella who's actually in the conservatory.
Well, we're going to the conservatory.
Okay.
Young fellow in the conservatory with the wrench. Let's see.
And as you pointed out, conservatory was also one of the things on my paper when we were.
That was
coming
exactly,
here.
you did say you would find a conservatory here.
There's a young fellow, a young boy. He's actually under here. That's why I was sort of sitting on the floor earlier. He's just under here. One of the other gentlemen said that there is a young boy that sometimes hides under the stairs. We described essentially the same type of boy. Again, I've seen a picture of him in the museum as well. But right now he's hiding there, pretty much from the grown-ups in the dining room. It's a safe place for him. They know he hides, and that's his safe spot. So I was asking him, does he need to go to the light? Does he need some sort of help? And he's got hollows under his eyes really badly, and he doesn't know what light is. So that might be a discussion that I need to have with him to see if we can advance his soul so that he doesn't have to hide anymore.
So you feel like he actually might be trapped?
Yeah, I mean, he's physically hiding there, but spiritually he may be trapped as well.
Now, do you detect anything from any of the other spirits? You mentioned the lady in the purple dress, the fellow that we're going to ask out for a glass of wine afterwards.
Yeah.
Do you feel any of them to be threatening?
No, I feel the lady, with all due respect to her, she's looking at me right over there. She's very bossy, but I don't feel she's threatening. And the man is just, he's one of those that would sort of separate from any family function, find a quiet space in another room, and take it all in. So I think he's like, he knows what's going on, and he doesn't need to be a part of it. But she's ruling the roost in here, and he'd rather not be in the same room.
And so we assume then that these spirits, they just basically want to stay here.
They want to stay here. This little fella's showing some fear, so I want to talk to him. But the others, I'm not getting fear from them at all.
Now, do you want to talk to him now, or shall we go around the rest of the house?
I think he's too freaked out to talk now. He's really getting my stomach going. So I think he just needs to calm down a little bit too. I told him it's all in light and love, and not to fear anything. And you know, if I put my hand out, he might take it. So I think I've got to gain that trust from him first.
Okay, so then we're going to continue to go around the Bowmanville Museum here, and when we go upstairs, we'll probably bump into the guys from the Paranormal Investigative Team, Proof, and we'll see what they're up to too. So shall we go into that room where we saw the guy?
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Out of the conservatory. I do like the table setting.
It's glorious. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
It means business too at the same time. It's not casual. There's nothing casual about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Oh, look, just while we're coming by here, this is some of the equipment that the Paranormal Investigative Team Proof use. I'm absolutely not sure what it is, but we will ask Paul when we go upstairs.
Yes. Again, one of the things I'd written before we came was the smell of roses around a fireplace. I'm not getting that as big a scent as I thought I might get when I found the fireplace, but there might be more than one fireplace, I'm not sure. But when you go up to the fireplace, definitely there's a vibe of, for me anyway, of not really getting all that too close. It's not, you know, gather around and have a heartfelt chat around that. Again, it's a bit utilitarian. It's got a purpose, and the hard angles and stuff, it's not homey. It's not a homey sort of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, the fireplace I was curious on. And anything that plays music. Again, I thought I was hearing jewelry box music, like the old-fashioned when you open up a jewelry box and the ballerina goes around.
Yeah, like ding, ding, ding,
Right,
ding, ding.
exactly. But I mean, here there's two sources of music in this room, and I'm not hearing it now, but I would be most curious to hear sounds from those. I was asking Spirit actually before we started, you know, if they could please show us something on either the record player, a Victrola, I guess that's called, I'm not sure.
Yep.
And the piano, because the piano has a weather system all of its own. I don't often get aura from a piano, but honestly, I would say it's out to about 6 inches in from the rug and all the way around. Almost as if that wall's not there and it's just encompassed in energy just around here. Fascinating for me. I've only seen that in a piano once, and that was a piano from New Orleans, and there was actually a man in spirit playing it. I don't see anyone in spirit playing this one, but I certainly get this whole big width around it for protection. I think it's for protection.
Well, that's fascinating. I got to tell you, Sandy, if that piano starts to play, I am out of here.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
I am a chicken.
Well, we agree on something. We'll be outside. Yeah,
Well, then, shall we go upstairs now?
please.
Okay.
Great.
We can go back out this way, I think.
Great.
Now, I remember you did also say that there would be red carpet on uneven stairs.
A red staircase, right, with red carpet and uneven. And as we both know, this is an extremely uneven staircase, but it's probably the most even one in the house, but it's got red carpeting on it. Shall we go up?
Yes, let's go up.
Thank you.
Come on.
The back bedroom, could we start
Yeah.
at the back?
Let's go to the back bedroom. Well, let's
I don't
say,
know if
can
we
we just say
interrupt?
hello? Can we say hello, guys?
For sure, yeah.
Hi, Paul.
How you doing, Michael?
Good. Here are two of the fellows from Proof, the Paranormal Investigative Team. And could you tell me what you're doing?
Right now we're just conducting an EVP session, asking questions, hopefully getting either audible responses in the room or on our recorders that we'll hear back later on.
So what sort of equipment is that?
This is just a digital recorder. It's a surround sound recorder, so it'll pick up everything in different directions. Shane has his own there that he's using, which we kind of correspond to make sure if I get something, he's got something.
So Shane, so you're both recording stuff at the same time?
That's correct. That way, if we pick something up, then we can go back and forth and verify. If it's picked up on both, then there's a good chance, it's something within the room. If it's picked up on one and not the other, then sometimes they're just trying to communicate with one and not the other. So we like to bounce ideas back and forth and share the information on the recorders back and forth. So.
And Proof has investigated the Bowmanville Museum before, right?
Correct. This is our actual third official investigation. We've also done public events here where we've done public investigations.
Right. That's very cool. And by the way, Proof's incredible videos of their investigations of places like this and other places that they go is all available on veryparanormal.com. And see, now I sound like I'm a salesperson trying to promote something. I don't mean to, but the Proof stuff is fantastic, so you got to watch it. So, what do you want to go?
Okay, I'd like to, if I'm not interrupting, Paul, I'd like to go over here. Thank you. I was getting on the first go around through the house, and actually right now it's actually getting a lot worse. I get a lady on this side of the bed. I don't know how your stuff works, but you very well could be showing no one, but I'm still getting the lady over here, and she's writhing, and it's back and forth and writhing in pain, and birth. Now, I originally thought she was bearing a child here in this bed, but I'm not convinced it's not more abortion driven as opposed to childbirth, because I'm getting cuts right across me, and I'm just going to take a second, just ask them to take that away. Gone. Okay, good. Dark hair, very, very white skin, and again, like night clothes, night dress, and just back and forth, and it's this, and it's this. And I was talking to her down in the front hall before we started, saying, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, because she was saying, can you help me? So I just get the knees back and forth. There's some blood on the bed, and poor thing is just sweating up a storm here. I'm talking to her in my head, saying that it's okay, we can help her. But Michael, honestly, this is getting out of hand. It's not that the baby's coming. The baby's already come, sorry. But the baby's not alive.
So it's stillborn.
But someone's taken it. It's not here with her. They've taken the baby away. And it's just so painful. So, not quite realizing that she's in spirit either, because she's looking at me with her eyes right here as if, we're both on the same plane. And I'm telling her in my head, you're on a different plane. Like, you've passed, dear, you've passed. And she's like, no, I haven't, because look at all this, look at all this. And I'm saying, no, you've just come back here, or maybe you never left. But it's, they've taken the baby away. Boy, I just want to scoop her up and pick her up and hug her and tell her it's going to be okay. But I'm doing that in my head, just to sort of smooth her energy a little bit here. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. She's got my hand. Well, listen, we can help you. We're all here to help you. And that's the best thing I can possibly say to you. We can, you don't have to live your whole eternity here. There's no way. So we can definitely take you and put you right and help you be right again. Yeah. She's very, very religious. She keeps crossing herself over and over again. It has nothing to do with specific. She's like, what religion? What religion? And I'm saying it doesn't have anything to do with religion. It's universal, if you want to think of it like that. Your God does not want you to suffer. That's the best way I can tell you. She has an accent too, a little bit of an accent I can hear in my ear. She's willing to take our help in whatever way we can help her.
Well, how do you think we can help her then,
I
Sandy?
think the best way and the quickest way, I think, to help her is to show her the light. I'm asking her in my head, is she ready for that? And she's saying yes.
Is this something that we can do now?
Yeah, I think it's something that she stopped writhing, I guess is the word. She's not in pain because she's focusing on all of us. She can see, she keeps pointing like this around the room. And she's a little afraid of men because I think whoever took the baby was a man. And it wasn't an easy time of it anyway for her being pregnant and getting pregnant and that kind of thing. But yeah, we can do it. We can do it now. Sorry, I'm going to start to talk really fast because that's kind of how this goes for me. I'm just going to ask her her name, see if I can get her name. I just get the initial L, L-A-U, but I don't know if it's Laura, Lorelei, Laureate, Lori, Laura. There's an L. I'm hearing an L. Names are tough for me, but I can still see her. If you want to picture her in your head, think about the first Queen Elizabeth, not the current Queen Elizabeth, her mom when she was young with the bangs and the dark hair and the nose in kind of pronounced and straight. That's who she looks like to me. But yeah, we can do this. We can send her to the light.
Well, then I think we should.
Okay. I might need a little bit of help on this. Sorry, I just got to wipe my tears here for a sec. Oh.
Well, it's a very powerful sensation and feelings that you're getting.
Can you feel it?
I can't feel it right now because I wasn't really concentrating on it. I'm concentrating on you.
Okay, that's fine. I need someone to help hold my hands. Can you even go on that side, Paul?
Thanks, Paul.
Have you sent someone to the light before? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you covered in goosebumps?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Now, I don't know your methodology, and I respect how you do stuff.
Okay.
I'll show you mine, and you show me, and we'll do it together, okay? Okay. I'm going to call her Laura, that gives me goosebumps, so I'm going to go with Laura. Laura, it's safe for you to go to the light. You ready, hon? I know. Yes, I know, baby. I know. Okay. Paul's got you energetically, and I've got you energetically. Okay, I'm just going to scooch over a little bit. Okay, so you're kind of in the middle of us. Okay, I can feel her energetic weight. Can you do that? Yeah? Okay. What I usually do, Paul, Laura, you can listen, is I picture white light coming down from the ceiling. I would right her so she was standing, and then ask, okay, and then ask for her to go up. Okay, Laura, you ready? Okay, Paul, you ready? Okay, Laura, I'm just going to ask you, we're going to right you, which means we're going to put you on your feet. You can stand. You can stand without pain now. The pain is going, okay? The pain is going. You can stand up. So Paul and I are just going to make sure you're standing up. Beautiful, Paul. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I know, hon. I know. She's got her feet. Okay. Now we're going to picture a beautiful white light coming straight down through the ceiling, through the roof. Okay, you're standing. She's in a column of light. Good, Paul? Okay. Laura, on 3, I am going to ask. Look up to the light, hon. I know. I know. Look up. Look up. It's safe. Your angels will take you. It's safe. And on 3, Paul and I are just going to ever so gently lift your energy up through the hole to the light. 3, 2, 1, go. Go, 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 go. Go, girl. Go, girl. Bless you. Covered up. Covered up. Bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
How does it feel now?
Empty. Peaceful. Peaceful and empty.
Good. Well, that's great. Shall we move on?
How are you feeling?
Good. It was a bit heavy there for a bit. The weight lifted.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she had been in bed for a long time. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It'd be very interesting also to see because she was here to see if, when you guys compare the notes on your equipment, if you do pick something up. While you've been here.
Camera right here too, so we're hoping that will
Oh,
mixing up on the infrared as well.
oh, beautiful.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you.
Excuse me. Right.
So now we'll go into the other room. Now this room's not freaky at all. Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are terrified of dolls, and
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. Well, meet your match here. So, it's the vibe of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sort of hits you at the knees, like kid height. When you walk in the room, I'm shaking in here. The other room was actually calmer for me. I don't think it's so much, negative or, that case isn't going to slam shut, I don't think. But it's more trickster kind of energy, like running around and, pulling pranks and moving things and
Like a kid trickster energy.
like kid trickster energy, or like almost even elemental trickster energy, where the leprechauns and the fairies and the just the little guys, I call them, that would come and perhaps move a picture off the bureau and it would end up over there, like that kind of a thing. I wouldn't be surprised, and I thought this when we first walked in the room. The brush set on the dressing table, I expected to come back in here and find it over here, just because to me stuff probably gets moved around in here, and I think the doll depiction just sort of lends itself to that.
It's very interesting that you say that, because an episode of Rescue Mediums, which is also on veryparanormal.com, they did come here to the Bowmanville Museum, and one of the things they picked up was the energy of kids playing and being very, very playful. So it's the same thing that you're getting.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. Well, I purposefully didn't watch, as I told you, that episode, so I didn't know, but that's what you get. For me, the sign is when I feel energy around my knees, that's kids.
Right.
And it's fast-moving kids.
Right.
So, playing up and down the stairs, running in here, supposed to be quiet, bedtime, and they're still shrieking, that kind of a thing. And also, one of the things I'd written down before was a woman's voice, a soprano, a very high voice, but shrill. Now that she's passed, that could just be, the kids shrill, as
Right.
kids scream when they run up and down the hall, because there's a shrillness here, and that's only the second time I've heard the word. So it could have something to do with the little tots that are running around this room.
But again, your feeling is that the little tots that are running around here, that they're not trapped.
Not trapped at all. Very, very happy. Crossed over and then came back.
Oh, I see.
As a way to be familiar. This is fun time, and it might get serious if they have to do anything else. So they're very safe here, and they like the visitors, because I guess a lot of kids probably come here.
Yes, they do. The museum is open for kids, I believe, from grade 6 up, and they do get a lot of visitors to the museum.
Yeah.
So for the kids that are here
Yeah.
in spirit, this is sort of like fun time for eternity almost.
Completely. It's like the eternal playground, right? Because the kids who visit would love this room, and the kids that are in this room love having them.
That's great. That's great to know.
Yeah. It's making me nervous. It's just so frantic in here, but frantic. But it is. They just don't stop, and they're well-to-do kids. They're not lacking for anything. They're not hungry. They're well-dressed, well-fed, well-mannered. I'm not so sure, but they're doing their thing. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So should we continue around the house a little bit?
Absolutely.
Just don't-
Upstairs, perhaps.
Won't trip over the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Okay.
No, wait, we are upstairs.
I think there's another upstairs.
There is another upstairs. You're right. Oh, well,
We
there's.
start here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I know. This, I thought, matched the yellow playroom idea.
more dolls.
Yeah, match the yellow playroom that we talked about on the ride over too. Again, yeah, more dolls and things to make noise with. So, like the drum, probably in alliance with the instruments downstairs. But there's unfinished business around the desk. I know that might sound a little cliche, but there's really unfinished business. There was stuff there that was meant to be finished that wasn't. And I get a man who migraine type of things, but up the back of his neck, sort of like when you drive for too long and you get that thing across your shoulders. That's what I get. Someone stooped over that desk and just they passed before it was unfinished, before their whatever they were working on. I get a very artistic kind of person, maybe like writing a play or writing a dialogue, and then passes suddenly, and it's an unfinished. This desk to me just screams unfinished business. I wouldn't want to go any closer to the desk really than I am right now. I certainly wouldn't want to poke around in it. Yeah, if you want to, you go ahead.
No. I actually do not want to go poke around on the desk.
No, neither do I. But again, as a standalone piece, I don't think it brings the room down any. It's just when you really focus on it, it's got some history for sure of someone's feelings still attached to it while they've crossed and it's still here.
That's interesting.
Look at the title of the book on the desk. Chatterbox, right?
Chatterbox.
Yeah, that goes with the frantic energy sort of the kids. I just thought that was so cute. Yeah. I didn't notice that the first time walking through, but yeah, chatterbox for sure. As far as the rest of the room, certainly it speaks for itself in sort of period clothing. But again, giving testament to those kids are very well dressed, the ones that are beaming around all over the place. So that's evident in. I think it's representative of the mannequins and things like that. There's lots of funny business, like kids crawling under the beds. There's a kid right now, like this on his elbows, looking up at you and giggling, and blonde hair parted to the side, but just having a ball. They think this is fun time.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it is. It's not. They're not left behind. They're not afraid. But they're also not really in a hurry to go anywhere.
And they don't mind that we're talking about them.
No, they love it.
Okay.
Yeah, kids love company.
That's true.
They love attention. Yeah.
So should we go upstairs?
Sure. Let's go upstairs. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now these stairs are extremely, extremely steep. So be very, very careful. And catch me if I fall backwards. Oh, God.
See, that's why they didn't give me the mic. I'd be huffing.
God, I feel like Tenzing Norgay has just climbed Everest.
This is a separate playroom. To me, that's what it certainly does look like. I did climb the stairs and look out the window before, and that's when I was asking about the ley lines and just to see if a pattern cut between this exact view and the ley lines with the land and I mean perfect view of the moon. I know it's just a sliver tonight, but on full moon nights it's going to come straight in here. I would not be surprised if this was some sort of a portal idea for coming in and out, just because of the proximity. And I mean, though I had described these windows, but I saw a crack in one. I haven't seen the crack yet, but I keep seeing the windows. Anyway, this to me would be a perfect passageway for the kids to come running in and out, for everybody to come running in and out. It just makes sense to me, and that's how it feels when I'm here. I mean, I know that there's a draft, but that's not it. I mean, to me, this would be, if I was them, I think I'd choose this.
Right, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, I think this is the way in and out for a lot of them. Sorry. There's a little boy here who's a toddler, and he had to take the steps like a toddler, like that, not one after the other. He's actually just right in front of your knees. He just wants to see. He's only got a couple of teeth, kind of thing, up front, and he's just smiling at me. Rosy cheeks, blonde hair, wavy. Not the kid who was hiding in the conservatory. This is a younger little toddler guy, and he's just laughing, like toddler, toddler, like patted on his behind still. So very, very cute, very adorable. Rosy cheeks, red lips. Now he's gone, and that's it. And he just, like the way the little boy was looking at you under the bed, like this, with his elbows on the floor. He just came and did the same thing, like this, just looking, but smiling, like, oh, who's here? And then off he's gone. So adorable little boy, though. Not afraid.
Well, you said he took the stairs coming up like a toddler, one step at a time. I'm going to do the same thing on the way down. Because, yeah, these are very, very steep. Oh, dear. And as you follow us down the stairs there, lo and behold, imagine this, more dolls.
Many more, yeah, many more, preserved and sort of kept behind glass. But again, every doll is just extremely well dressed, and I think really indicative of the kids who are here. Certainly this has its own vibe. I would get that the kids are, kind of going behind that case where they're probably not really supposed to be, and just playing with things. Again, not how they're supposed to be doing it, but a lot of activity here. But just that rambunctious, mischievous, as much as the dolls freak me out, the vibe doesn't match the dolls for me. It's much more playful and much lighter.
Right, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, the worst thing would be that if the dolls started to move.
Yeah, then we would start to move.
Oh, yeah, like lightning.
Yeah.
So, where else do we want to go?
We would like to go, excuse me, I don't believe we've seen the little parlor room.
No, that little room there, yeah.
This I find extremely fascinating for a couple of reasons. I suppose this is indicative of how it was, that you could just sort of close the panels and this becomes a very private library. But books themselves would carry their own energy completely. In this bookcase, I find that the energy drops in this corner. I don't know if it's military or what goes on in those titles, but that feels really, really, really weighty to me, as opposed to, say, those short books up there, which I would assume is kind of the more poetic sort of section. If you had to do it in category, that would be like the more female side of the bookcase. This would be the more male part of the bookcase, weighed down and quite a bit heavier. I can actually hear footsteps in here, as if someone's pacing. From here all around, like as if we're not here at all, and as if this couch isn't here, and just pacing around this room. Remember the man in the coach?
Yep.
With the mustache? It's him, and he's pacing. I can see his whole suit now. I don't know what it's called, but the buttons are here, and it's sort of like coattails, because when he comes around like this, I can see the cut coattails like that of his suit. I don't know if that's a waistcoat. See, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
But with long tails, and he's just pacing around here. Decisions were made in these walls that I don't think were shared with very many people. And he's getting a little bit impatient with us, or with me, and my description, because at first he was very congenial on the couch, and now he's doing one of those, you still hear, kind of a, like walking around, and hands here, holding up his ribs, and really, really looking. But those books over there, I've not been close to them, and but they are his. He's patting his collarbone, a psychic symbol I have of ownership. So he has something to do with this room and probably those books.
Well, I'm all for moving on and letting him pace around by himself.
No, that's fine. I was just asking him if that's okay, if he had a message besides being impatient that he could just tell us. Huh. Sarcastic fella. It's more like we're very happy here, but with sarcasm. And, you know, were you invited? Like that kind of a very sort of a sarcastic sort of tone. And I'm saying, sir, that, you know, in love and light, you know, we mean no harm. And that's the discussion I was sort of having with him. Just so his fears aren't fanned by us being here. I want him, as I'm sending him love through my heart chakra, just so that he can kind of ease up a little bit.
And so we don't offend him.
And so, yeah, completely so we don't offend him. But I certainly don't want to ruffle his feathers at all.
No.
Yeah.
Nor his coattails.
Nor, indeed.
So do you want to go down and see the... should we go down to the little fellow in the conservatory now?
Yes, that would be terrific. Yeah. That would be
Okay. These stairs are much, much better than those other ones that went up there. We're just going to go into the conservatory, if that's okay.
I'm just getting
Thanks, guys.
spikes in the door here.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, this area here in particular is very almost emotional for me. I stood here and it was as if someone was saying, "Do not go in there. I don't want you in there." It was almost like this whole side was being stopped from going into that room. I got up to 0.2, which is low, but I've been at 0 the whole night. And the more I stayed there, the more it seemed to get comfortable, and the feeling went away, but still I had the feeling that I should not be in there. And Paul was saying the same thing, that it's almost like there's a woman here that is in control, and she does not want us to go in there for some reason or another. Whether she's protecting someone or something in there, I certainly don't know, but that's what it feels like to me. And it comes and goes.
But that's exactly what it felt like for you too, when you were here,
Right.
because Sandy had said that there was a woman here who's very much in control, and that in there there's a little boy or a child sort of under the stairs that actually we're going to try
under
and...
the table. And I had the sense that he's hiding from everybody in here. And I was asking him if he wanted to go to the light, sort of similar to what we had done before. So perhaps we're being stopped from the endeavor of helping him cross to the light.
That makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make sense. Just this area in particular, for me, in both investigations, I've had heaviness in the chest, chills, and just the odd, the normal stuff that you would feel. The static electricity is quite intense. It's like someone, like Paul was saying, someone's pacing back and forth, and is not so happy that we're all gathering here. It's almost like an invasion of her space and her privacy, and it's it comes and goes, but you know that she's there. That's for sure.
Yeah, she's in charge. She doesn't want anything to happen that she doesn't okay. So anything you want to do or where you have to ask her first for permission. Otherwise she gets very...
We had pacing upstairs in the library at the end of the hall. It was a gentleman, though. with a big mustache who was walking around as if the couch wasn't there. Like he just walked through it, and he was pacing and getting a little antsy. So I was sending him love and, telling him I wasn't here, or none of us were here to upset him, but certainly respect him in spirit and that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's a story of the bed, and a gentleman does reside in the bed,
Okay.
and he gets up and looks out the window, I believe.
But we've also had, unverified anyways, but actually people saying that there is a gentleman upstairs and he's constantly working at a ledger or something like that. So we don't necessarily know why, but that's one of the stories that has been relayed to us anyways.
So he's writing.
Yeah, something. He's busy with something and almost to an agitated state, so.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
At the desk, because I was saying there's someone crouched, it's male with a bad migraine or like being hunched over too long, and I think he passes before he finished writing whatever that was, and that's part of the frustration or agitation that's causing the pain up here, because that's what I was getting in my shoulders and in my neck. Yeah.
So if we are going to, or
I'm off balance here all of a sudden. Yeah.
if you're going to see about this child here, I mean, what should we do about asking? I mean, should permission be asked, as we're all sort of thinking it should be?
I think that there's definite protocol that I wouldn't want to offend this lady or any of the spirit. I mean, I'd want to give them a voice, but I certainly don't want to offend them or impose what I think should happen on them.
So what sort of protocol do you think it should be then?
I would, as at any dinner party, I would ask the hostess if I could, approach someone in the next room and see what she says, and maybe there's a collective message that would be brought through.
Well, I think, can we try it?
Yeah, is that okay with you? 'Cause
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as long as she seems okay with it, then,
you had mentioned that your chest pains and stuff. I don't want to make you worse if.
No, that was probably 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
And since then, everything seems to have leveled out. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Are you cold? Are you okay? Yeah, I know. I can see it on you.
It's just, I don't know who it is, but it's
On you,
it's cold.
kind of. Yeah.
Really cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm moving around trying to get it into a warm spot.
Do you want to come stand by me, Paul? Here, bud. I'm gonna give you a hug. I met her 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
So Paul was just experiencing very, very cold temperatures at the other end of the room, right?
Yeah, correct. Well, the whole room, it's this whole room. It's this I've had bad not gonna say bad history, but I've had history in this room with whatever's here. So she likes to mess around with me a lot.
So
Okay.
over to you.
Well, if that's all right with you, I'd like to ask her permission. So I'm just going to address her generally because I'm going to call her ma'am because she makes me want to stand up straight. I'm tall, but she makes me want to be taller. And I'm going to say, good evening, ma'am. Bless you. Thank you for having us here. You were not invited by me. I understand. But nevertheless, we wish you and all of your family and friends here, we wish you nothing but the best. As they say, we come in peace, and although it looks like we come in pieces, we do come in harmonious peace, and wish your soul nothing but peace in heaven and beyond, and whatever you believe in. But ma'am, I do need to ask your permission, please, with the light of the universe flowing through and me sending you love. And she's going like this. Ma'am, could I approach the young man, the little boy in the conservatory? Could I please approach him? No, I don't know him, that's true, but I feel that he may benefit from some help that from us who understand spirit, from us who understand the grief of spirit, and sometimes the containment of spirit here in the physical. Can I please approach on that regard, with all due respect to you and your guests and everyone here, ma'am? Bless you, ma'am. Thank you. I may have 5 minutes.
Well, let's get going.
understand. Okay, well, we'll just see. Hi, buddy. Hi, bud. I know. Okay. I'm gonna tell them what I can see, okay? And it's okay. It's okay. He's crying, whimpering, sort of too tired to cry, but kind of whimpering. But are you hiding from everybody else in the house? How come? Oh. It's okay, I know. I know. Here. Oh, jeez. Here. Okay. Can you take my hand? Will you take my hand? She's getting more mad, isn't she, Paul?
Yeah, I was just gonna excuse myself because
Yeah.
she's not like.
Okay, bud, I think I'm gonna have to leave you, okay? Here's what, no, it's okay. I'm gonna ask for God's blessing on your soul. I'm gonna pray for you, okay? It's gonna be okay, but we gotta get out of here, hon. If you wanna come, you can come. If you wanna come out there, okay? I'll leave that to you. But if it's your soul to stay here, then I respect you, okay? With love, hon. With love only. Okay, there's only love. There's only love. Okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, we gotta get out of this room, I think. You can come. Okay. What?
She just keeps repeating like, I own it.
I own
Like
it.
everything, she owns everything.
People too, though, right? I know. That's why he's so scared.
That's why she's swaying because we're not.
We're not owned.
And she's not.
I know. So he's going to stay there. I told him if he wants to come out, if he feels safe enough to come out, that's fine. But certainly, you know, I don't think he's in danger. I don't think he's eternally damned, you know, to be in that corner. He's welcome to come and play and that kind of thing. He's very sensitive and he doesn't want to interact with the high vibration of frustration in here. So he's very sensitive, so he's hiding. And I will pray for him.
Yeah, yeah. But you're right that she, this woman probably does want us out of here, right?
I think she wants us out of this room for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a good lesson in respecting spirit.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
It sure was. Well, this has been a really, really interesting experience for me, and I hope for people watching. One person with Paul's help from Proof, we helped them into the light,
Yes.
and the little boy's just going to hang around for a bit, but he's got love with him.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much for doing this.
Thank
We're up to our hour, and we hope we do another one. And I'm just going to go and say thanks to the folk from Proof.
Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you all very, very much for this.
Well, thanks very much for having us.
And this has been really, really exciting. And I hope your next investigation is uber cool as well.
We got some good ones coming up, so follow Very Paranormal for a video.
See? And you thought I was promoting the channel. He's worse than I am. Okay, well, that's about it from Very Paranormal, our first live event. As far as I know, technologically, we didn't go down, that it was all okay, and it didn't sort of get stuck to ring. I'm just kidding, that's me doing that. And I hope to have many, many more live presentations with you. I'm Very Paranormal's Michael Lamport, here with the Paranormal Investigative Team Proof and the psychic medium Sandy Duncan, saying good night